Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most mysterious and left out characters in Hunter x Hunter, and that is Kon the Fox Bear. So this character is actually very interesting because the only time they appeared in the actual 2011 anime was during the first episode of the Chimera Ant arc in Kite's little flashback, right, when he saves Gon. Um, Now, this character was shown different amount of times in all three of the adaptations, right? He's somewhat important in the manga. In the 2011 anime, he's basically not even there, right? Like I said, he only appears in that flashback for 3 seconds, right? But he has kind of a decently big role in the 1999 version. And I actually, for the first time, went and checked out a few of the episodes, and they were pretty good, right? I know a lot of people hate on it because, 2011 was so crispy and just perfect, but I did kind of like it, I'm not going to lie. But I'm just going to go ahead and start explaining this character a little bit. So, when we look at the manga, right? When Gon is first introduced in the story, right, in chapter 1, we see him interacting with Kon right after he catches the Master of the Swamp, right? He goes and celebrates with Kon. He's like, yo, bro, I'm going to become a hunter. I'm going off. And at the same time, he's talking with Kon and he's like, listen, you're going to go become the king of the forest. I'm going to go become a hunter and find my dad. And I just want to mention, like, the art by Togashi is so good. Like, it literally looks like a fox bear. Like, I know that doesn't exist, but if we actually had a fox bear in real life, that's what it would look like. Like, it's a fox's face, perfectly detailed, and a big giant bear. He's so lovable, honestly, and even the interactions Gon has with him is so good. Like, he's hugging this big giant bear that he tamed. But let's definitely get into some of the lore here because the 2011 anime actually missed out on a very important plot point, right? And just in general, and a lot of people do bring it up, right? The thing with Kite, when Kite was introduced in the 1999 version, right, the whole first episode has to involve Kite. And you see his relationship with Gon. He's teaching Gon. He's like, Gon, your father's actually a hunter. Your Aunt Mito, she's kind of lying to you a little bit, right? And they have the moment where Kite takes out the mom of Kon. He takes him out because he's gonna kill Gon, right? Um, but then Kite's all pissed. He's like, another disgusting kill to my record. Then he's going over to kill Kon, but Gon picks him up and Kon's flipping out, scratching his shoulder, crying like his mother just got killed. And Kite's like, what are you doing, Gon? Like, that's a wild animal. And Gon's saying he's going to raise it, right? And Kite's saying you can't, you're not able to. But Gon is so determined to take care of this fox bear cub. And Kite mentions that every good hunter is excellent with animals, right? They have a good relationship with animals. And when we look at the 2011 version, it's just a sentence that he says to Gon and Killua. And it doesn't really have any meaning. It's like, maybe because they showed Kite as a kid, which that was cool, when he was running around with the dogs, and that kind of made sense. But those words mean more to Gon, because Gon literally saved a wild, fox bear cub and raised him, and we've seen how good Gon was with animals, right? This is a wild animal that was just going to kill him, and we've seen the development of Kon becoming older and literally hugging and wrestling with Gon, right? So that was a very good character trait. It shows that Gon's really good with animals, right? But anyway, another thing I do want to mention is the difference between the manga and the 2011 anime, because the first chapter is barely adapted in episode 1, right? All of episode 1, like, he catches the Master of the Swamp, he hugs Aunt Mito, They have a conversation, and then he hops right on board. But the first chapter doesn't even cover him getting on the boat. Or it covers him getting on the boat, and that's it. That's the end of the chapter. But they show the whole flashback with Kite, everything with Kon, his talk with Aunt Mito, and his resolve, right? And him wanting to go find his dad. It's all set up. The chapter's like 60 pages, too. Like, it's pretty lengthy. And it's all covering stuff for Gon's character. And I do kind of like his character design in chapter 1. He's got like this bang, and you already know that's inspired by the goat, Yusuke Urameshi. Gon looks so clean in that. But yeah, the difference is kind of insane, right? Because they cut so much from that first episode. Now, if you look at the 1999 version, that episode was good. There was development with Aunt Mito. Kite was there, and they showed his relationship, and that was a big thing that people didn't like, because Gon goes crazy when Kite dies, and he barely knows him, basically, right? They show the flashback, but in the 1999 version, he's literally has a strong bond with Kite. He's basically his teacher in a way, right? Not for that long, but like for a week, they're talking together. He's giving him all this information. He has ties with Kon, right? And it's very more impactful for when the eventual, Gon rage moment happens, right? But, yeah, so they definitely, that's the one thing I don't really like that they did in the 2011 version, right? By not showing Kite in the first episode, because it kills it. The pacing is definitely way faster in the actual 2011 version. Now, after that, right, in the Heaven's Arena arc, when Gon and Killua go to Whale Island, right, after the Heaven's Arena with Hisoka and all that, right, Gon goes to the forest, and he's thinking if he can introduce Killua to Kon, right? And they actually mention, right, Gon mentions, he's like, he can't be seen with humans, or he's going to lose his spot as king of the forest, right? Everyone's going to think he's weak if he's seen hanging around with them, right? And we see that Kon actually left some fish for them, and they sit there and they eat it, and they have that talk that they had, right? When Killua was trying to figure out his dream. Perfect, right? And they show that in the manga, but in the 2011 anime, they don't do that. They completely ignore Kon's existence, right, in the 2011 anime. I don't know why they wouldn't mention it, but it's because they didn't show that in the first episode. The 1999 version, they show Kon. They don't even show him in the manga. They show him. And there's a whole filler episode. Half the episode is filler, and it's good filler, because there's poachers coming after Kon's son, which I'm going to not say Kon, because the 1999 version of his name is Konta. So, Konta, his son, gets shot, and Gon saves them. Gon and Killua save him, and they go to heal him with Nen. And there's a little thing with Killua where he's like, I'm going to put him out of his misery, but Aunt Mito slaps him, and he's like, yo, Killua, you can't kill things, right? Especially if they're fighting for life right now, right? But they save him, and they show Konta, right? And there's an extremely funny moment, right, that caught me off guard, is once they heal Konta's son, they return him to Konta, and they say goodbye, right? And Gon, not Gon, the baby, right? The baby of Konta uses Nen, and Konta makes like a shocked face now that his little cub has Nen, right? And it's so hilarious, like, because this little animal possesses Nen, is a Nen user, It's pretty funny, but I do like that they did that, because we don't really have filler in Hunter x Hunter, so to have an episode where it's just Konta, Gon, and Killua, there was good development with Killua in that episode, and Aunt Mito, right? That was really good, I would say. And then the last thing I do want to mention, right, is what in the manga right now, right? Gon is currently in Whale Island. So maybe there's a chance that if we ever go back and see Gon, he goes and maybe the fox cub actually will be in the manga, right? Because he's an anime only character, Konta's son. So maybe we have a chance of seeing him again now that Gon's there. But this character, it's just, I don't really understand why they left him out of the anime, right? It's one of Gon's characters. And even in the Heaven's Arena arc, right? A character that means a lot to him, right? When he's meditating, Gon thinks of Kon, his grandma, Aunt Mito, Kite, right? These are his people. So it's just so random, like, why they just completely forgot to add him in the 2011 anime. And even the flashback, they did it so quick and weird because they didn't adapt it fully. But I don't know. Comment down below. What do you guys think about Konta? Right? Did you guys even know that this character existed? Right? The ruler of the forest. As always, guys, please like the video. It's been SJ Benj. Peace.